Tell me a little about yourself.
I'm Luis Fernandez, and I'm one of the co-authors of Contemporary Anarchist Studies, and this is a book that just came out about 6 months ago that is now available to people on Amazon.com and in different locations. Yeah.
So you're at San Francisco at SSSP, and that's pretty exciting. Could you tell me a little bit about what Contemporary Anarchist Studies, the history of it, how it emerged, and yeah.
Sure. The book was put together with five different co-authors. I'm sorry, co-editors. We edited the book.
Yeah.
It was kind of done in a collective manner. We came together. We decided on how to put it together. We talked and met for hours and hours and talked many hours on the phone and did this whole thing kind of in cyberspace. But we edited it collectively, following in the anarchist manner.
So all of you are anarchists.
Yes, all of the authors have are anarchists theoretically, and probably do all sorts of anarchist work as academics. But I think it's important to recognize that we probably are all sorts of different types of anarchists, because anarchism is not just one big, gigantic dogma. It's actually all sorts of different kinds of types of anarchists. So while we were all anarchists, we didn't all agree in everything, as we put this thing together.
I know I don't have too much time with you, but if you could tell me a little, like a story or something that was interesting in putting a book together, because 5 people putting a book together that are all anarchists, that seems, somewhat interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, I can't think of anything. I can't think of any stories particularly right now off of the top of my head. I think that, something that's interesting was that when we first put the book together, one of the things that we wanted to do is we wanted to make sure that the book was inclusive, and that is that included a lot of different people, a lot of different perspectives out there. So we didn't want to make it limited, so we opened it to a lot of different people. So the book began to become a bit of a monster. It got bigger and bigger and bigger, and by the time we put it together, sent it to the press, it was some 500 pages that were sent to them. And I think that while that's, it's a big book, at the same time, I think it represents a wide variety of perspectives from all sorts of different corners of the anarchist movement.
So what's the latest with the book, and is there any project coming out from that book? Some books just get dusty in the libraries, and it doesn't seem like an anarchist would be pleased with that.
Yeah. There's a few things happening that are coming out of the book. Like I said, the book's been out about 6 months. We are doing 2 things. Some of the co-editors are actually going to be doing some mini tours back east. Randall, Amster, and myself are thinking about doing a mini tour in the West. So maybe go through, start in Phoenix, go LA, up the coast through San Francisco, maybe up to Arcata, maybe even Portland. So look for that in MySpace, our MySpace account here. And when that happens, we'll be announcing it there. But the other thing that's happening that's really interesting is that we're putting together the first North American Anarchist Studies Network Conference. And that's scheduled to be in November 21st and 22nd in 2009 at Hartford, Connecticut. And if you're interested in that, that's a really good way to get plugged into some of the stuff that's happening around anarchism and academic work. If you're interested in that, you can just contact us at this particular webpage. Hopefully you can get that. And that webpage will contain the information that you need in order to get plugged in.
Thanks so much for your time. Have fun at the conference. Have fun in San Francisco. And it was our pleasure of interviewing you.
All right. Thanks. Bye, everybody.